If you haven't already, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/workingfanspodcast. We have all our episodes go up there unedited pretty much as soon as they get done. We have classic interviews going up. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live.
Let's take 5 random wrestlers and rank them 1 through 5, starting off with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the master of the DDT, Jake the Snake Roberts. How about big, tall Barry Windham? How about the excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart? And last but not least, how about the Beast, Brock Lesnar? How do you rank these guys 1 through 5? Let me know in the comments.
And we're about to let you know here. I'm going to give you my first list. It's from Dwayne Daniel Menzies, and he has Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Barry Windham, Jake Roberts, and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, great list. I mean, I don't know if I think you said before, like, I'm the one who read the shorts. I don't know if we're going to go on my list, but that man just hit it, by the way. So, like, I just tell you right now, that man hit it. Well, let's just do it, baby. Let's take some turns. I remember this. We've been out of practice. Give me a minute here. I'm talk about Richard Cole. Richard, he got Brock Lesnar number 1. He's got Shawn Michaels 2, Jake Roberts 3, Barry Windham 4, and Bret Hart 5. Richard, appreciate your list. Disagree? How hard did we? Bret is not the end of any of this list.
Yeah, he's the front runner on a lot of them. And all these lists we're taking off of Facebook. So if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you for the list. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. A lot of the people that watch us aren't subscribed. I bet Bobby Bowles is subscribed because he's got Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, Jake Roberts, and Barry Windham.
I mean, that's a fine list, but when you put Barry at number 5, I just think you don't know how good Barry truly was. But it's hard to go
younger and just didn't have a lot of exposure to him.
Yeah, because I mean, I got Brock at my number 5, and it's like, Brock's a fucking animal. So it's kind of like it's hard to really criticize anyone for these lists. These are all great guys. Daniel Williams, he's got Shawn and Bret. I bet you that's going to be a lot of 1 and 2, huh? Bret and Shawn and Bret. But Jake the Snake Robertson at number 3, Brock Lesnar at 4, and Barry Windham at 5.
I'm going to give you my list next because it's just ironic you ripped on that last guy's list because I've got Bret Hart, Jake Roberts, Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, and Barry Windham.
Shit. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about a list? I'll talk about my man, John Smith. He's got Bret Hart, Barry Windham at number 2. Number 3, Brock. Number 4, Shawn. I don't know about that. He might be the greatest wrestler ever, but okay. Number 5, Jake the Snake Roberts, the master of the DDT. By the way, Shawn Michaels has rubbed some people the wrong way. I have to say, I think it affects people because Eric Edcart, who comments on a lot of stuff, he'll see the YouTube shorts. I love his list. I'm pretty sure if I go back and look at his list, if I have like Shawn on there, he always has the top 4, and then always the 5th one is, and then maybe Shawn. I'm like, okay.
The next list I got for you, Robert Harrell got most of them, or I just forgot to write down a number 5. Because I've got Jake Roberts, Barry Windham, Bret, and Brock.
Okay. Well, I like the fact that we talk about Jake Roberts. I got a list from Shawn Roberts, who I don't know if he's related, but Jake is number 1, and he's even got an explanation. Jake had the best promos in the ring. Smart. Didn't try to go toe-to-toe a lot of times. He made it entertaining. He is my number 1. Shawn 2, Bret 3, Brock 4, Barry 5.
Not a bad list. Next one I got is from Steve Tiergarten. He's got Shawn, Jake, Brock, Bret, Barry Windham.
Yeah, I have a feeling like I can already see where this list is going to end up going. But Clyde Van, only Brock, Barry, Shawn, Jake. In the day, Barry was great. Only Brock, Bret, Barry, Shawn. Okay.
It was weird the way they wrote it, but it looks like they did give out their list.
They did give it out. Yeah, you did. All right.
I've got Brian Gaskin, who has Shawn, Brock, Bret, Barry, and Jake Roberts.
I'm looking ahead at this last name here, but I got one more list before we get to my last guy. David Stewart has got Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Barry Windham.
I'm going to hit you with 3 quick lists here, and then we'll get to our final 3. because Larry D. Ainsley has Shawn, Brock, Bret, Barry, and Jake. Chu Her has Bret, Shawn, Jake, Brock, and Barry. And Charles Glavick has Bret, Shawn, Jake, Brock, and Barry. So I did some compiling before we got on here, and it's not going to be hard to figure out who the top two are. Bret and Shawn were on almost every list. Almost every either 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. Some flip-flopped it. The third one is going to be kind of hard. I threw Brock in there because I thought he placed highest on a couple lists. Make an argument to get Brock off the list and somebody else on.
Hold on. I got to get one more list off there because this is my man, and I'm going to read his name the way I see it. Justin Cockburn has got Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Brock Lesnar, Barry Windham, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake had been bigger than Barry, but Barry was still NWA champ. Glad the man cares about the NWA title. Now, getting back here, we're talking about...
I'm going Jake rule here. I'm going to give you Scott Marwick. He's got Shawn, Brock, Bret, Jake, and Barry. Shout out to Jake St. John, 13th round.
Right. So now we're making a case for number 3 between Barry, Brock, and Jake. You know what's kind of funny is I just got done talking about how good Barry Windham was, and if you don't know, what the fuck are you doing? But when I think about it, when you look at what a big star Brock Lesnar really is, he's arguably the biggest star out of this whole thing. I mean, to do what he did in UFC and in WWE, all the WrestleManias, ended the Undertaker streak. And you look at the once-in-a-lifetime athlete that he is, like, especially looking early in his career when man was like over 300 pounds back then and doing like a shooting star press and F5ing the Big Show and Mark Henry. It's kind of like I got to eat a little shit here about what I said earlier. And maybe I think Brock probably does belong at number 3, but it's really criteria, right? Because Jake the Snake Roberts is probably the greatest interview out of all these guys. And Barry was a very smooth in-ring worker that's just as good as everybody, with the exception of maybe Bret and Shawn.
I would argue that Jake's interview skills are good enough where it almost tops, not that he was bad in the ring, but it tops like any like shortcoming he has when compared to like Brock or when compared to somebody else.
I mean, I have no problem. I have no problem putting Jake the Snake in there because at the end, you're going to number 3. You're going to die because the top 2 guys we're going to talk about are Bret and Shawn. So number 3, Jake Roberts. Nice to know you. Hit him with that DDT, but take an exit. We got to talk. Are you a Bret guy or a Shawn guy? Because it comes down to these 2.
Yeah, this is the eternal debate. And I mean, if you look at these lists, predominantly Bret people, but like you talked about, Anthony Eckhart, Patreon subscriber, not a Shawn guy at all.
Yeah.
And I was a fan of Shawn, but when I was putting my list together, Jake just edged him out because even though Shawn was amazing in ring, Jake had that talking ability and he had some wild matches. Like Jake really got emotion out of you.
Yeah. I mean, if you had AJ on the show, he would pick Shawn Michaels. He was more of a Shawn guy. Shawn did some more crazier type, flashier maneuvers, but he still made it all make sense. That being said, I've said this before, and it's not that Shawn didn't do this. It's just that other than Terry Funk, from my personal preference, I don't know anybody who did it as well as Bret, and he made it believable. When he was in the ring, he made everything just look and feel believable. And Bret was an adequate promo. He was good at being Bret Hart, but I would not go, hey, one of the greatest promos of all time. But Bret, because of the way he worked in ring, is like one of the most believable guys of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I was a fan of both Bret and Shawn when that happened, when that feud was going on. But for me, it was always just Bret. Little better in the ring. He always made it more believable. Shawn was great. Like he did things that had me like, oh wow, Shawn is amazing. But like, I kind of like that Bret wasn't as good of a promo because it almost adds to his credibility. He doesn't need to be a good promo if he's going to get it done in the ring. It's almost like with Shawn Michaels talking so much. What is he hiding behind the talking?
Yeah, no doubt. And I would say Bret and Shawn, like neither one of them are going to be the greatest promos of all time. They could cut promos. Maybe Shawn was a little better, But yeah, ultimately, it comes down to personal preference. And if my vote is going to go to Bret Hart, he'll be the number one guy because there was just something a little more rugged in his matches that I really liked.
100%. I'm going to go with Bret Hart as well because being a personal favorite, seeing him top so many lists. And Dave, we did it. Oh, that is not the sound effect I was looking for. There it is. Bret Hart won our 5-3-1 today.